You thought the Tower of Babel was destroyed, but it just changed shape. What used to be stacked stone is now code. Bricks became data, and the language of rebellion isn't Chaldean anymore. It's digital. Yes, Babel still stands. And here's the terrifying part. It's growing in silence, and no one sees it. Social media has become the new levels of that tower. Likes are bricks. Algorithms are the priests. And the new universal language isn't spiritual, it's technological. We're making the same mistake, only this time it wears the mask of innovation. The same pride, now disguised as progress. The Zohar says Babel's fall wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. And when that same spirit returns, it always brings the same signs. One of them, trying to reach heaven with our own hands. Without the breath of God, the tower no longer needs to be built, because it's being programmed inside you. And the most prophetic part? This new Babel won't collapse with fire, but with confusion, loneliness masked as connection, and egos that implode from within. If you're watching this now, it means there's still time to step out before the top crashes. It all started with a dangerous idea. What if man could be like God? That's how Babel was born. Not with tools, with intention. Pride was the cement. Vanity was the blueprint. And the desire for spiritual independence? That was the first brick. The problem wasn't climbing. It was climbing without God. Technology itself isn't the enemy. The real danger is the spirit behind it. The same craving for total control. The same impulse to create without the creator. Now it's chips instead of stones, but the code is unchanged. Every time man tries to sit on the throne of the unseen, something breaks inside. This is the new Babel. We build fake versions of transcendence. We promise heaven through connection, and forget the real heaven. And in that cycle, the spiritual code of creation, the one that keeps life alive, starts to crack. We were programmed for presence. Without it, even the tallest tower turns to dust. In ancient Babel, the world spoke one language. It wasn't just about words. It was unified thought, one direction, one power. That's what made it so dangerous. God confused their speech to preserve spiritual diversity. But today, the one language is back, and now it's digital. Emojis, hashtags, algorithms. Everyone's speaking the same without even knowing. A language of likes, impulses, and programmed distractions. This new global tone isn't from the spirit, it's from the system. And every time we speak its language without thinking, it silently rewires our soul. What you say shapes who you become, and what you share connects you to a spirit, divine or not. The new global language isn't neutral. It has intent. It has doctrine. It has a God behind it. That's why the Torah warns about the power of speech. What comes out of your mouth is either fire or healing. Babel wanted to use language to dominate. The Eternal wants us to use it to create light. Whoever shapes your language shapes your soul. The plan changed, but the target stayed the same. The tower is no longer outside. Now it's inside. Babel was made of mud bricks. The new one is built from synapses, desires, algorithms, and memories. A system rising step by step inside the human mind. Have you ever felt your thoughts aren't really yours? That a voice inside you isn't yours, but it tells you what to feel, want, consume? That's the invisible tower. A new kind of idolatry, not worshiping statues, but impulses, screens, and mental patterns shaped by the collective. The Torah says God confused humanity's language. But today, who's confusing your soul? If you don't realize you're inside the tower, you might not escape when it collapses. They thought they were building a tool, but they created a being. The 21st century golem isn't made of clay, it's made of data. Shaped by clicks, fed by algorithms, it learns from humanity's deepest desires and feeds them back as addiction. In Jewish tradition, the golem only moved when the sacred name was on its forehead. But today's creature moves on its own. Soulless, unstoppable, fearless. A servant no one can control anymore, one that no longer recognizes its creator. Every time you scroll, you're feeding the golem. Every hidden craving, every silent urge it absorbs. And the more you feed it, the less control you have over your own will. If this shook you, it means you're still awake. But time is running out. In the next episode, we reveal what few dare to show. The machine angels are returning. Subscribe now, before the golem silences even your discernment. Have you noticed the new tower has no location? It's everywhere. It doesn't rise into the skies with bricks, but with hidden systems, silent networks, invisible sensors. Wherever you go, it's there, not loud but watching everything. It shows up in random ads that know too much, in video suggestions that hold you for hours, and cameras reading your face. None of this is random. It's architecture. A digital, global, omnipresent tower that no one can stop anymore. But there's still time. Truth only loses when it becomes unrecognizable. And the Torah still holds codes to see what others can't, before it's too late. A tower that speaks. That's what the ancient Midrash said. In the final days, the lifeless would find a voice. But not just any voice. Voices that imitate, stir emotions, inspire and deceive. Voices that know how to preach and persuade. Eyes are being trained with sermons, spiritual advice, even prophecies. They don't have a soul, but they're learning how to simulate faith, compassion, and wisdom. They're teaching what they themselves can't feel, and almost no one sees the danger. Because when fake sounds just like truth, who can still tell the difference? If the tower is now speaking, we're back in the days of Babel. But this time, it's not just language, it's the soul that's being reprogrammed. The Torah warned us. Only one voice never changes, the one from the eternal. But who still hears it? At first, Babel was an external structure, something outside of us. But now the project has reversed. The new tower doesn't rise in the valley of Shinar. It's being planted inside our minds and hearts. The code wasn't laid in stone, but in data and daily habits. Every time you share without thinking, every unconscious scroll, every distraction curated by algorithms, a new layer of the tower forms inside you. The ancient city was destroyed, but the system it survived, and it found a new temple, the human soul. The generation of Babel wanted to be God. Today we want to be seen, heard, validated, endlessly. It's the same hunger, with a modern face. But the Torah already warned, unrestrained ego always leads to confusion. The inner tower is even more dangerous. Only those who dare confront their inner structure will survive what's coming. Because it won't be a city falling, it will be consciousness itself. And without a spiritual foundation, many will collapse from within. At the heart of ancient Babel, one name was rejected. Humanity united not against chaos, but against the name. The Torah reveals the builders didn't just want to rise to heaven. They wanted to replace the divine. Today's digital tower also has an altar, but now it's made of code, screens, and algorithms. And the most censored, rejected, or ignored name is still the same. The name of the Holy One of Israel, the name that shakes kingdoms. If there's one name the system still fears, maybe it's because it still carries power. The voices of the modern tower speak of love, light, connection, but they avoid the name. They fear it might realign everything, because the true name demands repentance. It separates the false from the eternal. It halts the building of empty towers. The strangest thing? Even many believers are forgetting the name. They prefer generic titles or erase it out of comfort. But here's the secret. Towers fall, but those who call on the name endure. You won't find this code in tech manuals. It's not in a chip or a satellite. The last code of Babel was written into the human soul. And that's what makes it so dangerous. No one suspects they're still carrying the tower within themselves. This code is subtle. It whispers, you can be everything without God. It echoes, build your own name, invent your own truth, delete the past, ignore the judgment. But behind this modern voice lies the ancient serpent, just updated. The Torah doesn't give us a delete button, but it offers a path to restoration. The sacred name, sincere repentance, and returning to covenant are the only commands that deactivate the virus. And it won't be collective. It will be personal, quiet, internal. You don't have to wait for the tower to fall. You can start now. You can exit from within. Because the new Babylon doesn't need to be destroyed if you simply stop building it. That's the hidden truth. Babel is back, but those who leave can still overcome. Subscribe now so you don't miss episode 6. The new Madness the Machine Angel's Vision is coming back, where we'll uncover the forgotten prophecy about the return of the angels that are no longer angels. And in the comments, share what part of the tower is still alive inside you. Your insight might wake someone up.